Now what I'm going to do with this can art is I'm going to take a label that I've created on a separate layer, and I'm going to wrap it around the can. And I'm going to do that using the new image warp feature. Now basically the deal with image warp is that it is a true envelope style distortion with a bunch of warp presets built in. Let me show you how it works. I'm going to select my label layer to make sure that it's active. Then I'm going to go up to the edit menu. I'm going to choose transform, and I'm going to choose warp in order to enter the warp mode. And notice that Photoshop divides this image up into 9 pieces here, and you can actually move these pieces. You can just drag them in order to apply a freeform distortion. I'm going to go ahead and undo that modification there, because instead I'm going to apply one of the distortion presets. I'm going to go up to the warp pop-up menu, and I'm going to choose arch. Now notice that the arch is bending the wrong direction. That's okay, no problems there. It happens to be the right distortion for this effect, for a cylindrical distortion. And I'm going to change the bend value from a positive value to a negative value, specifically negative 35%. Now let's say you also want to apply another kind of transformation. As long as you're inside the transform mode, you figure you might as well go ahead and scale this item too. This happens to be a smart object, so it's a non-destructive transformation, so I don't have to apply things in a single transformation session, but I just want to show you how it works here. If I were to click on the check mark, that would exit the transform mode. So it would take me all the way out of the transform mode, and I'd have to press Control-T or Command-T to re-enter it. If I just want to leave the warp mode here, I would just turn off this little warp icon. That takes me back to the standard transformation mode where I can apply traditional transformations. For example, I could go ahead, I'm alt-dragging, by the way, this corner handle in order to scale this layer with respect to its center. So I could do that if I like. I'll go ahead and scale this a little taller as well. Once I'm done, I'll go ahead and press the Enter key on the PC here or the Return key on the Mac in order to accept my transformation. Now, as I say, this is a smart object. I want to mask it to the can in a couple of ways. First of all, I want to create a clipping mask, what used to be in the way old days called a clipping group, and you used to actually press Control-G in order to access this function. Now you have to choose the Create Clipping Mask command, or I can just Option-click on this little horizontal line in order to clip this label to the can. I need a little extra clipping, though, because notice here at the bottom of the can, I still can see my artwork, and I shouldn't be seeing it there. I'll go to the Channels palette. I've created a mask in advance for myself, so I'll just go ahead and load that as a selection. Then I'm going to go back to the Layers palette, and I'm going to convert this selection outline to a layer mask. And we now have the label fitting inside the can. Now, this label's a little low on the can still, so I'm just going to go ahead and Control-drag it up just a wee bit right there. And I'm assured that this label is aligning to the can because of my Smart Guides feature. Finally, I'm going to set this smart object to the Multiply Blend mode. So you see how versatile smart objects are inside of Photoshop CS2. They respond to all the old stuff like layer masks, blend modes, and so on, and we end up getting this finished version of this illustration. I'll go ahead and tab away my palettes, fill the screen with this finished can art that is only possible by virtue of smart objects and image warping inside of Photoshop CS2.